Mind Your Language was a classic sitcom loved by millions, but behind the laughter lies a darker, tragic story. The 35 talented actors who brought the characters to life faced untimely deaths, mysterious circumstances, and heart-wrenching events that many fans never knew about. From untold accidents to shocking health battles, their lives were cut short in ways no one expected. In this video, we'll dive deep into the real-life tragedies that struck the Mind Your Language cast, revealing the heartbreaking truth behind the show's enduring legacy. Watch until the end to uncover the shocking details, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Ricardo Montez, born on September 20, 1923, was a versatile actor who portrayed the optimistic and lively Juan Cervantes in Mind Your Language. Ricardo was born into a family of performers, and his early years were spent in the theater, where he was exposed to the rich world of performance from a young age. His role as Juan Cervantes was beloved by fans for its humor and warmth, reflecting Ricardo's own spirited personality. Throughout his career, he faced the challenges of being typecast in roles that were often comedic or stereotypical, but he embraced them, bringing depth and charm to each performance. His personal life was marked by a long marriage to his wife, with whom he had 2 children, though he rarely spoke publicly about his family. Despite his success, Ricardo faced personal tragedy, including the loss of a sibling to illness, which deeply affected him. He was diagnosed with cancer later in life, which ultimately led to his passing on October 26, 2010, at the age of 87. Zara Nutley, born on August 19, 1924, portrayed the formidable Miss Courtenay in Mind Your Language, a no-nonsense character who was a sharp contrast to the more relaxed teaching styles of Jeremy Brown. With a long career in both television and theater, Zara was known for her commanding presence on stage and screen. She had a quiet, reserved early life, attending drama school and working in various stage productions before making her mark in television. While she was celebrated for her role in Mind Your Language, her career had its highs and lows, with the later years being less prolific. Zara's personal life was a mix of triumphs and struggles, as she never married, focusing instead on her work. Despite her success, she never had children, and her family life remained private. Zara passed away on October 9, 2016, at the age of 92, due to natural causes. She had lived a full life, leaving behind a legacy of strong and memorable performances. Dino Shafeek, born on March 21, 1930, was widely recognized for his role as Ali Nadim in Mind Your Language, 1977 to 1986. Ali, a warm-hearted and comical character, endeared himself to the audience with his lovable nature. Dino, born in India, came from humble beginnings. He had a tumultuous childhood, marked by the loss of his father at an early age. Despite these challenges, he moved to England, where he pursued his passion for acting. His career took off with small roles in theater and television, but it was his portrayal of Ali that cemented his place in TV history. Dino's personal life, however, was marked by tragedy. He was married twice, but both marriages ended in heartbreak. He never had children, which was a source of personal sorrow for him. In his later years, Dino struggled with health problems, including hypertension. He passed away from a heart attack on March 10, 1984, at the age of 53, leaving behind a legacy of joy and laughter. Barry Evans, born on June 18, 1943, was a talented English actor, best known for his portrayal of Jeremy Brown in Mind Your Language, 1977 to 1986. Jeremy was a kind, patient, and somewhat naive English teacher who struggled to maintain control over his multicultural class. Growing up in a working-class family in the UK, Barry's early life was marked by hardship. He was drawn to acting at a young age, attending drama school to hone his craft. He enjoyed some early success in theater and television, with Mind Your Language becoming his most iconic role. However, his personal life was far from as smooth as his professional one. Barry battled with alcoholism, which began to take a toll on his career and personal relationships. Despite this, he never gave up on acting, continuing to appear in smaller roles. His tragic death on February 11, 1997, at the age of 53, was suspected to be caused by alcohol poisoning. This untimely passing left fans and colleagues mourning the loss of a once promising star. Tommy Godfrey, born on June 20, 1916, portrayed Sid in Mind Your Language, 1977 to 1986, a character whose rough edges and rebellious nature made him a memorable part of the ensemble cast. Born in England, Tommy was drawn to acting early in life. He spent much of his youth in the theater, honing his craft. His career was largely confined to supporting roles in television and film, but his portrayal of Sid brought him considerable recognition. Off-screen, Tommy faced financial instability, and his personal life was filled with more shadows than light. He was married briefly, but the relationship was marred by constant conflict and ultimately ended in divorce. Tommy had no children and often spoke about his loneliness in his later years. While he enjoyed a successful career, his personal battles weighed heavily on him. He passed away on June 24, 1984, at the age of 68, due to natural causes, leaving behind a legacy that is remembered with fondness but tinged with the sadness of unfulfilled personal dreams. Albert Moses, born on December 19, 1937, was an actor known for his portrayal of Ranjit Singh in Mind Your Language, 1977 to 1986. Ranjit, with his mischievous humor and unshakable pride, became a fan favorite. Albert, originally from Sri Lanka, had a background in both acting and cricket, and his journey to stardom was not without its struggles. After moving to the UK, he pursued his passion for acting, but the road to success was long and filled with rejections. Despite the hardships, he carved a niche for himself in British television. Off-screen, Albert was known for his charismatic personality, but he experienced personal heartache. His marriage ended in divorce, and he was estranged from his children. Yet, his career flourished, with notable roles in various TV shows and films. He appeared in The Persuaders, 1971, and had a brief role in James Bond, The Spy Who Loved Me, 1977. Sadly, Albert Moses passed away on September 15, 2017, at the age of 79, due to natural causes. Harry Littlewood, born on May 23, 1921, portrayed the stern and authoritarian Henshaw in Mind Your Language, a show that aired in 1977. Littlewood had a career that spanned stage and television. He was known for his skill in playing intense, commanding roles, often with a touch of dry humor. Despite his public persona, Littlewood had a difficult personal life. He grew up in a working-class family and faced struggles in his youth, including poverty and a lack of opportunities for formal education. In his early years, he worked odd jobs, which fueled his desire to perform and express himself through acting. His first major break came later in life, and his role in Mind Your Language brought him significant recognition. He had a somewhat tumultuous love life and married once, though the union ended in divorce. Despite this, he remained close to his children. After his passing on December 26, 2003, at the age of 82, from natural causes. Russell Hunter, born on February 18, 1925, was a well-respected actor who portrayed Jock in Mind Your Language. Jock was a gruff but lovable character who resonated with audiences for his warmth despite his tough exterior. Born in Glasgow, Scotland, Russell had a humble beginning, and his childhood was shaped by the challenges of post-war Britain. He worked a variety of jobs before turning to acting in his early 20s. Russell's breakthrough came in the 1960s with roles in television series such as The Brothers and Coronation Street. However, it was his role in Mind Your Language that made him a household name. Despite his professional success, Russell faced personal struggles, including a difficult marriage that ended in divorce. He later found happiness in a second marriage, which lasted until his death. Tragically, Russell was diagnosed with lung cancer, a consequence of his smoking habit. He fought bravely but passed away on February 26, 2004, at the age of 79. Gabor Vernon, born on March 23, 1925, portrayed the optimistic and jovial Zoltan Sabo in Mind Your Language in the late 1970s. Vernon was born into a Hungarian family and came from a background steeped in the performing arts. His childhood was marked by the upheavals of World War II, as his family was forced to flee their homeland during the conflict. Despite these hardships, Vernon developed a love for acting and studied drama in Budapest. He eventually moved to England, where he found a home on both the stage and television. His role as Zoltan Sabo became his most beloved, capturing the hearts of audiences worldwide. Vernon married early in life, and he and his wife had 2 children. Unfortunately, his marriage suffered due to his demanding career, and they separated, but Vernon remained a dedicated father. Despite health problems later in life, including a stroke that affected his mobility, he continued to work in acting. He passed away on April 23, 1985, at the age of 60. Barbara Keogh, born on April 21, 1929, was an English actress who portrayed the memorable character Lil in the 1970s sitcom Mind Your Language. Lil, a somewhat forgettable yet amusing character, brought her own flavor of comedy to the show, despite her minor role. Keogh, who had a varied career in the entertainment industry, was no stranger to the stage and television. Before her role in Mind Your Language, she appeared in various theatrical productions and TV series, showcasing her versatile acting skills. However, despite her career successes, her personal life was marked by struggles that impacted her career. Barbara was known to have dealt with significant emotional challenges, which included a series of personal setbacks and strained relationships. In her later years, she distanced herself from the limelight. She never married, and it is said that her family life was not ideal, leaving her to deal with loneliness. Barbara passed away on October 25, 2005, at the age of 76, due to natural causes. Dickie Davies, born on April 30, 1928, had a prominent career as a sports presenter, but his appearance in Mind Your Language as himself in the 1970s sitcom brought him a different kind of fame. While his presence on the show was brief, his role as a TV personality was very much in line with his real-life career. Davies was the face of British sports television for several decades, known for his engaging presentation style and deep knowledge of the games. Throughout his life, he battled with the pressure of public life, which led to challenges in maintaining personal relationships. Though he married and had children, his relationships were often described as turbulent. His fame in the sports world, combined with the stress of a high-profile career, created emotional strain. Despite these struggles, he remained a beloved figure. Sadly, Dickie passed away on February 19, 2023, at the age of 94, due to natural causes. Noel Coleman, born on November 26, 1919, was a British actor who brought to life the character of the Earl of Berkeley in Mind Your Language, a role that required a firm, authoritative persona. Noel's early life was marked by struggles as he grew up in a working-class family. He developed a passion for acting from a young age, and after attending drama school, he made his stage debut in the 1940s. His career spanned several decades, and he became well known for playing characters that commanded respect and authority. Besides Mind Your Language, Noel also had significant roles in television dramas such as Z Cars and Coronation Street. Despite a successful career, his personal life was often shadowed by isolation. He married twice, but both marriages ended in divorce, and he had no children. His later years were peaceful, yet somewhat lonely, and he spent much of his time in his home in London. Noel passed away on October 12, 2007, at the age of 87 due to natural causes. Anthony Jackson, born on February 18, 1944, played Mr. Jarvis in Mind Your Language, a character who embodied authority but with a touch of sensitivity underneath. Born into a working-class family in London, Anthony had a rough start, but his natural talent for performance helped him to eventually land acting roles in theater and television. His breakthrough came when he joined the cast of Mind Your Language in 1977, a show that would become iconic for its comedic portrayal of cultural misunderstandings. Anthony was married once to a fellow actress, but they divorced after a short time, and they did not have children. His career was filled with both successes and disappointments, as he struggled with typecasting and a lack of more complex roles in later years. A longtime smoker, Anthony's health declined significantly in his later years. He passed away on November 26, 2006, at the age of 62, from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy of work that still endears him to fans of classic British television. Ahmed Khalil, born on July 1, 1940, was an Egyptian actor who portrayed the wise and authoritative character Sheikh al-Hamid in Mind Your Language. His portrayal of the character, filled with both wisdom and humor, made him an unforgettable part of the show. Khalil, who had a long career in both Egyptian cinema and international television, brought his experience in drama and theater to the role. However, his life off-screen was fraught with difficulties. He faced a tragic loss early in his career when he lost his beloved wife, an event that had a profound impact on his mental and emotional health. Despite these setbacks, he continued to work in the industry, though his personal life was marked by deep sorrow. Khalil was known to have faced financial struggles in his later years, which led him to retreat from the spotlight. Despite these hardships, he was adored by his fans and respected by his peers. He passed away on November 9, 2021, at the age of 81, due to natural causes. Joan Heath, born on December 10, 1912, portrayed Mrs. Short in the iconic British sitcom Mind Your Language, which aired in 1977. Mrs. Short, a small yet memorable role, was part of the colorful and diverse ensemble cast. Joan's career spanned several decades, though she was primarily known for her roles in television and theater. Raised in a modest family, Joan's early life was shaped by the hardships of war and financial struggle, but she found solace in acting from a young age. She trained at a local drama school and began working in the theater before transitioning to television. Her later years saw a decrease in her screen appearances, but she remained beloved for her distinctive performances. Joan's personal life was marked by tragedy. She lost her first husband in a car accident and faced the challenges of raising 2 children on her own. Despite this, she remained dedicated to her craft. After her passing on July 17, 2000, at 87, from natural causes. Russell Harty, born on September 5, 1934, had a notable presence in British television and played himself in Mind Your Language. As an accomplished talk show host and presenter, Russell was a well-known figure on television throughout the 1970s and 1980s, hosting his own show, The Russell Harty Show. Known for his sharp wit and charisma, Russell was adored by audiences. However, his personal life was turbulent. A troubled childhood left him with emotional scars, and despite his public persona, he struggled with bouts of loneliness and depression. His relationships were often complicated, and though he had close romantic relationships, he never married. His professional life was not without challenges either, with many speculating that his outspoken nature led to a few setbacks in his career. Sadly, Russell passed away on June 8, 1988, at the age of 53, from complications of hepatitis. His death came unexpectedly and left many in the entertainment industry mourning the loss of a talented and unique individual. George A. Cooper, born on March 7, 1925, played Mr. Short in Mind Your Language, a character known for his stern and often judgmental demeanor. Cooper's upbringing was far from easy. He was born into a working-class family, and his early years were marked by financial struggles. His passion for acting began at a young age, and despite lacking formal education in the arts, he worked tirelessly to hone his craft. He quickly became a familiar face in British television, starring in various roles before landing his famous part in Mind Your Language. His portrayal of Mr. Short earned him recognition, but behind the scenes, Cooper faced a series of personal challenges. His first marriage ended in a bitter divorce, and he struggled with loneliness in his later years. Cooper remarried later in life, but the relationship also had its difficulties. He was a father to 3 children, but his relationship with them was strained due to his career commitments. He passed away on November 16, 2018, at the age of 93, from natural causes. Claire Davenport, born on April 24, 1933, was a beloved British actress who played Eva in Mind Your Language, 1977. Eva, a somewhat comical and quirky character, made an impression on viewers despite her relatively small role. Claire's life off-screen, however, was marked by some personal struggles. Raised in a working-class family, she had a difficult childhood, often moving between foster homes. Her passion for acting began at a young age, and she studied drama at a local theater school, although she never pursued formal academic education. Claire found some fame in her career, but her life outside of work was often lonely. She was married briefly, but the marriage ended in divorce after only a few years. She did not have children. In her later years, she struggled with health problems, which were compounded by kidney failure. Sadly, Claire passed away on February 25, 2002, at the age of 68 due to complications from this illness. Damaris Hayman, born on June 16, 1929, was known for playing the woman speaker in Mind Your Language. While her character was brief, Damaris's career spanned much longer, leaving a mark on British television and theatre. From a young age, Damaris showed a deep interest in acting, attending drama school and performing on stage before making her television debut. She appeared in a variety of roles in her early career, but it was in the 1970s and 1980s that her television appearances became more frequent. Damaris's personal life was deeply intertwined with her work. Though she was never married, she had a long-term partner with whom she lived until his untimely death. This loss had a profound effect on Damaris, but she channeled her grief into her craft. As she grew older, Damaris turned to supporting roles, where she found much acclaim. Her passing on June 3, 2021, at the age of 91, was attributed to natural causes. She had lived a full life, but her final years were marked by her quiet retreat from the public eye. Arthur Mullard, born on September 19, 1910, was a British actor who portrayed the character of himself in Mind Your Language, 1977 to 1979. Arthur's early years were marked by financial hardship and instability, growing up in the working-class neighborhood of London. Despite his tough childhood, he pursued acting, and his natural comedic talent quickly made him a favorite in British television. Throughout his career, Mullard starred in various sitcoms and dramas, often portraying the lovable, down-to-earth characters he was best known for. While his career was full of success, he did experience personal tragedy. He was married twice but faced difficult periods, including struggles with finances and his health as he aged. Arthur's second marriage, though long, ended in divorce. Tragically, his life ended on December 11, 1995, at the age of 85, from natural causes. His death left behind a legacy in British comedy, but also the sorrow of a man who lived through both the highs and the lows of show business. Michael Sheard, born on June 18, 1938, was the actor behind the character of Police Sergeant in Mind Your Language, 1977 to 1979. With his imposing figure and sharp delivery, Sheard captured the role of a strict yet well-meaning lawman. Michael's career, however, was not always smooth sailing. As a child, he faced the challenges of growing up during the difficult post-war period in Britain, which shaped much of his work ethic and resilience. He attended a local acting school and began his career in small stage roles before transitioning to film and television. Sheard's career spanned decades, but it was his television roles, particularly in Mind Your Language, Doctor Who, and Allo Allo, that garnered him fame. Though he was successful, his personal life saw its share of turmoil. Michael was married twice, with both marriages ending in divorce. He also struggled with a number of health issues that impacted his career. In his later years, Michael was diagnosed with cancer, which ultimately led to his death on August 31, 2005, at the age of 67. Robert Dorning, born on May 13, 1913, portrayed the rigid and occasionally pompous Mr. English in Mind Your Language, 1977. Mr. English was a teacher in the show, and his no-nonsense attitude provided a strong contrast to the chaos around him. Robert, a trained actor, had a long career in British television, film, and theatre, but his beginnings were humble. Born in London, he was the son of working-class parents, and spent much of his childhood in a rough part of the city. His passion for the stage grew as a teenager, and he went on to study at a prestigious drama academy. However, Robert faced significant personal hardships, including the loss of his first wife, with whom he had 2 children. After her tragic death in a car accident, Robert raised his children alone. He remarried in his later years, though this marriage was short-lived due to personal differences. Robert's health began to decline in his 70s, and he passed away on February 20, 1989, at the age of 75, due to natural causes. Jeannette Charles, born on October 15, 1927, in London, portrayed the sweet and welcoming Mrs. Baxter in Mind Your Language, 1977 to 1979. Jeanette's career in television spanned several decades, with roles that showcased her charm and ability to bring warmth to every character. However, behind the scenes, Jeannette faced significant personal challenges, especially in her youth. Raised in a poor family, she struggled to make ends meet and had a tumultuous relationship with her parents. Despite these hardships, she pursued acting at the age of 20 and quickly gained recognition. Though she never married, Jeannette had a long-term partner, with whom she shared a peaceful life until his death in the early 1990s. This loss was a heavy blow to her, and she never fully recovered from it. In her later years, Jeannette turned to philanthropy, supporting various charities that aided children and the elderly. She passed away on June 2, 2024, at the age of 96, from natural causes. Sonny Caldinez, born on July 1, 1932, portrayed Surinder's father in Mind Your Language. His character was a wise, calm figure who often provided guidance to his son in the show. Sonny's journey into acting was not a conventional one. He was born in Trinidad and moved to London to pursue a career in theatre. His early years were marked by financial struggles, and he had to work multiple jobs to support his ambitions. Over time, he built a successful career, with many roles in television and film, though he often played secondary characters. Despite his success, Sonny faced racial prejudice throughout his career, which led to moments of frustration and self-doubt. In his personal life, Sonny was a devoted father to his children and was married for several years, although his marriage ultimately ended in divorce. His private life was often marked by the challenge of balancing his career with family obligations. He passed away on April 12, 2022, at the age of 89, due to natural causes. Zohra Sehgal, born on April 27, 1912, was a renowned actress and dancer, known for her portrayal of Mrs. Singh in Mind Your Language, 1977 to 1979. Mrs. Singh was a compassionate and understanding character, bringing warmth to the show with her wisdom. Zohra's early life was filled with artistic influences, as she came from a family that valued culture. She studied at the prestigious Lahore College for Women before moving to Germany to study dance. Her career spanned decades, with notable works in both Indian and British cinema. She appeared in various films like Dil Se, 1998, and Bago But, 1965, as well as in popular TV shows, including The Jewel and The Crown. Zohra's personal life was marked by both success and challenges. She married Kameshwar Sehgal, an Air India official, with whom she had 2 children. The couple lived a relatively private life, but their bond was tested during Zohra's struggle to find her place in the professional world, as she often faced gender and cultural barriers. Her passing on July 10, 2014, at the age of 102. Margaret Courtenay, born on November 14, 1923, played the role of Miss Hardacre in Mind Your Language, 1977 to 1979. A teacher with a stern demeanor, Miss Hardacre was an iconic character, though not without her own tragic backstory. Margaret's early life was shaped by the effects of World War II, which took a toll on her family. Despite these hardships, Margaret's love for acting bloomed early, and she quickly made a name for herself on the stage before transitioning to television. Her acting career was primarily in British television, where she appeared in numerous shows, often playing formidable and no-nonsense women, much like Miss Hardiker. She was married once, but the union was short-lived, with the relationship ending in divorce. Margaret was never remarried and led a relatively private life outside of her acting career. In her later years, she struggled with health issues, including heart problems. Margaret Courtenay passed away on February 15, 1996, at the age of 72, due to natural causes. Arnold Peters, born on January 3, 1925, played the character of Mr. Wilkins in Mind Your Language, a role that showcased his stern and no-nonsense demeanor. In real life, Arnold had a tumultuous early life. Growing up during World War II, he experienced the hardship and loss that shaped much of his adult outlook. He served in the military before pursuing acting, which provided him with an outlet for his personal struggles. Arnold's career spanned over 4 decades, with notable roles in British television and film. However, it wasn't always smooth sailing for him. His personal life faced its own challenges, including several failed relationships, which he rarely spoke about publicly. Arnold never married, and his love life was marked by long periods of solitude, perhaps due to the emotional toll his earlier experiences had on him. He had no children. Despite these personal hardships, Arnold remained dedicated to his craft. His death on May 11, 2013, at the age of 87, was attributed to natural causes. Rita Webb, born on February 25, 1904, played Lil the barmaid in Mind Your Language, a role that gave her a beloved, if minor, presence in the show. Rita had a long and varied career in the entertainment industry, but her life was far from glamorous. She came from a working-class background and often struggled to make ends meet. Rita had a deep passion for acting, and she worked tirelessly in small roles throughout her career. Her life, however, was overshadowed by personal tragedies. She was married twice, but both relationships ended in bitter divorces. Her love life was a subject of heartache, and she rarely found lasting happiness in her personal relationships. Rita's health began to deteriorate in her later years, and she was diagnosed with cancer, which took a toll on her body and spirit. Despite her illness, she continued to act for as long as she was able. Rita Webb passed away on August 30, 1981, at the age of 77, due to complications from cancer. How do you feel about the passing of the actors from Mind Your Language, and which one do you miss the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our latest videos.